Now, with COVID cases rising in the country, the question has been as to how much of a role are the mutant strains playing in this spike in cases. Now, just now in Punjab, it's been found that 81% of the samples that tested positive show that it was the more infectious UK strain. So imagine that out of 401 samples, 81% of them showed the UK strain. There are also reports in Maharashtra that 2 mutations have been identified there. We need more information on that. There's been a complaint that not enough genome analysis is being done in the country. Just 0.06% of positive tests so far have been analyzed and the genomic sequencing been done. And compare this to the UK, in which over 5% of the positive, the tests that have come positive are tested for genomic sequencing. And that is something that we need to aspire to. Well, to talk more about these concerns, we're joined by Dr. Ambrish Mittal, Chairman and Head Endocrinology and Diabetes Max Healthcare. Also Dr. Rahul Pandit, member of the COVID Task Force in Maharashtra. Dr. Pandit, first to you, this information about Punjab is very, very concerning, that 81% of their positive cases have, it's been found that they are the UK strain of coronavirus. And this is something I know that's been raised in Maharashtra as well, as to how much of a role mutated, variants of coronavirus are playing in this spike that we're seeing.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. I completely agree with you. I think that has been our concern, and that's why we've actually increased the genome sequencing, and we've actually requested the government to do a lot more genome sequencing. There are certain patterns which are seen on this particular wave. We have a very, very rapidly spreading virus here right now in Maharashtra, and maybe probably the rest of the country as well, which is quite concerning for all of us. The second thing is that the virulence may be particularly a bit low. We are not seeing a lot of patients on ventilator in this part of the pandemic right now, but we may see them as we go forward possibly. But as of now, we don't actually have that quite in numbers there. But a lot of patients are requiring high flow oxygen and high flow ventilators, high flow nasal cannulas to be put into the ICU. But majority of them are asymptomatic. 80% plus are asymptomatic. So these patterns are particularly, pointing towards at least a homegrown strain, if not a UK strain, but it's a homegrown mutant strain which is there. And I think we need to do a lot of genome sequencing from various districts and samples across the state to actually come to a point that are we looking at something like a similar to a UK strain, or it is the UK strain which we are actually seeing in Maharashtra or rest of the country. So yes, I agree with you. Genome sequencing needs to be done.
Right. Dr. Ambrish Mittal, the good news is that Covishield, if it is the UK strain and various strains, the vaccine is effective against that. But again, we need a lot more information. Also, we believe that younger people, that's what Punjab has said, at least that many younger people seem to be affected by this particular strain.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is no doubt that we need to vaccinate more and more people. We are still not sure how well the vaccine works against all the mutant strains, but it seems to be effective against the UK strain. So that's very good news. I think the important part is to open up the vaccination now in a way that more and more people can have access to it. And I think the fundamental thing in that, of course, we have to protect the vulnerable the most, but also the fact that we have to ensure that there is less restriction. So, for example, in my experience, the 45 to 60 age group that is now being vaccinated with particular comorbidities, that norm is being flouted everywhere. Either we shouldn't have it, or if we really think it's important, we should implement it. So I think if you're using a simple age cutoff for the moment, that is one good step in the right direction, and not having that whole list, which is very well intentioned, but I'm not finding that to be implemented all around me in patients. The second point is that we need to identify hot areas. The hot areas here would be like offices, like courts, like, closed environments where a lot of people are congregating. And there, regardless of the age or regardless of comorbidities, vaccination should be open there. So I think we'll have to do these little things. Right. Otherwise, if we just stick to the current strategy, a lot of people are not coming forward for vaccination. And a lot of vaccines are going waste.
Absolutely. And,
So
and Dr.
the
Pandit,
truth is that-
you know, for some have even suggested for states in which we've seen more cases like in Maharashtra that we should, you know, concentrate more of the vaccination drives over there. And as Dr. Mittal was saying, we need it to be far and wide and more people, especially, you know, younger people, because they're the ones who are out and about, who are going for work and on whom the economy also depends. So really the need to, you know, speed up the entire vaccination drive, especially if the variant is there. So we need to really get ahead of this.
Absolutely right. Again, with you, couldn't agree more. I've been saying this on the national TV for some time now, that actually the super spreaders are the ones who are stepping out of the house, not the ones who are in the house. So the population above 60 is actually quite adherent to COVID appropriate behavior, and they are staying indoors. But our younger population, on whom the economy depends, 20 to 50 years of age, they are the ones who are going out. The COVID appropriate behavior is at all-time low in that age group. So unless we vaccinate them parallelly, we will not be able to break the chain. The vulnerable group you vaccinate, you will be able to have mortality come down significantly. But to break the chain, we need to vaccinate these people. The other thing which I again want to say is that we need to open it up and bring it to the doorstep of the person. Just like we do it in our national elections, the Lok Sabha elections, where there's a voting booth within a walking distance of a person's home, we need to have a vaccination booth set up within the walking distance so that people can come out and get themselves vaccinated. You know, right now in Maharashtra, the people are doing an RT-PCR, sorry, a rapid antigen test before entering a mall. Maybe we need to think outside the box and say that you take a vaccine before entering the mall. So that, you know, we actually vaccinate. So we need to have some out of the box solutions for this. We need to increase our education and information about the vaccine as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Pandit and Dr. Mittal, for making these very, you know, valid points. And we need to create more pressure on the government to really speed up the entire process and, you know, take these factors into account, especially if it's the variant that is out there. We really need to get ahead of it in the vaccination drive. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.